Hello, and today we'll be playing One Way or Another. This is a short visual novel that came from the November Buck Jam for 2025. You want to know about the November Buck 2025 Jam? I'll have it in the description box. But it was basically some kind of jam where people would make their own visual novels as long as the MC, I believe, was a buck or a deer. So I'll have it in the description box, and you can look up more about that. So it's closed now. So if you want, if you just in case you were thinking about participating, it's closed now. It's been closed since then. But anyway, I don't know about this game, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Let's see. 5 across, 7 letters, incoming. Well, that doesn't look out. Oh, it happens so fast. I don't even see the basketball until it's already slammed my laptop shut and would bounce off my face, taking my glasses along with it. It bounces away like a mugger on a run. My hands come up on instinct, holding my aching snout. I'm not bleeding, thankfully, but it still hurts like hell. Oh my goodness. Credence, I'm so sorry. My friend sprint toward me, looking rightfully alarmed. Oh man, did I knock your glasses off? Shoot, I hope I didn't break them. He starts looking around for my fallen glasses, but Nas has already found them, holding them up in the sun and turning them over in his hands. No, I don't think they're broken, not even a little bent. They're fine, Burn. Oh, thank God. Indeed. Nas comes over to me, beaming. Here you go, Credence. Thanks, Nas. I reach out to take my glasses, but his hands shoot forward and gently place them on my face for me. It's a little surprising, but that's just Nas being Nas. For as long as I've known him, which is basically my entire life, he's always been the type to take things upon himself. Usually, I let him. He's a reliable guy, obsessed with doing things the right way. He woke up precisely at 6 a.m. every morning, went to bed at 10. He ate 3 square meals and 2 rectangular snacks a day. He didn't smoke or gamble. He never touched alcohol unless it came in the form of a cleaning wipe. He always dressed in sweater vests and khakis like he just got out of church, even on days that weren't Sunday. I think if he ever touched a pair of jeans, he'd break into hives. People would call him boring, and they'd be right. But I guess boring people need friends too, and I'm glad I had somebody like Nas, my friend. He's been holding my glasses for quite a while, though. Um, oh, sorry. Was just making sure they sat right. He pulls back, but not without skimming the bridge of my snout with a padded finger. How's the pain? It doesn't hurt too much, does it? I bring my hand and feel a part of my nose that got hit, and surprisingly, he's right. The pain is already starting to fade away. No, I'm okay. It doesn't seem to hurt at all. Actually, oh good. Guess I didn't hit you as hard as I thought. Wish you didn't hit me at all. Hey, I said I was sorry already. Look, how about we get something to eat? I'll buy you a meal to make up for it. Oh, fine. You don't have to do that. I can buy for my own. I swell off as I pat my back pocket, feeling empty space where my wallet should be. What's up? My wallet's gone. I look around with a growing sense of panic, fishing through my backpack to see if I just threw it in there and I'm just forgetting. Then I catch sight of the basketball where it bounced off, with my open wallet lying next to it. The basketball rolls away inconspicuously. Burn, I think you need to throw that thing away. So that's where my $20 went. What do you guys feel like having today? I'm fine with whatever you decide on. Come on, Ness, I always pick. I want to know what you want. Oh, well, there's this new sushi place that opened up near the Performing Arts building. Sushi, huh? If that's alright with you, why are you giving me that look? No reason sushi it is, then that cool with you, see? Credence? Huh? I glance up from my phone. Bro, are you doing another crossword? No, it's the same one. Burn blinks at me. Actually, maybe you can help me with this one. 7 letters. Hockey player or video. SAS. Keith. Burn swears before I've even finished. I don't know. I thought you liked hockey. You're on a team, aren't you? Yeah, but I don't actually watch hockey or video essays. Oh. I look back down at my phone dejectedly. Nas moves in closer and I feel his bulk pressing into my body. I glance up at him, then move my phone closer to his face so he can see. Opposite of sin. Oh, virtue. I look at where he's pointing and type the word in. It fits perfectly. Oh, sweet. How'd you figure that out? I just pay attention during church is all. His ears turn red again as he humbly rubs the back of his neck. I grin at him, playfully, leaning into him with my full weight. He's built like a brick wall, so I don't expect him to give, but I must have pushed a little too hard because he stumbles and almost sends us both careening to the ground. Whoa, you good? Fine. I'm fine. Just surprised me, is all. Oh my god. Burn. So it's just. I look at the rabbit and see he's trying and failing to subdue a grin. Man, I don't think I've ever met anybody as boring as you two. Burn. Sorry, it's true though. Nash looks appalled, like Burn just insulted his family name. Yeah, he's kinda got a point. What? At 2 Quidditch? I mean, we don't really go out and do anything, and all I do in my free time is practice and play games. Well, hey, knowing how to play the saxophone is plenty interesting. Not when you're a music major. I don't even do jazz or anything. I'm just in the marching band, like the least cool of all the bands. That's not true. Our football team would be desolate without you guys. Yeah, Credence. Listen to you guys play the same 3 stand tunes over and over again gives me the strength I need when I'm on the field. I thought you were on a hockey team. And, like, not to be mean, Nas, but I don't really see you going out and doing anything besides, like, Bible study. Bible study can be interesting. I give Nas a look. Yeah, I don't. I give Nas a look. Yeah, I don't believe that one either. But still, relax, Nas. I'm just teasing. You guys can do whatever you lame stuff you want. I'll still like spending time with you guys. But, I mean, don't you guys ever just get the urge to go out and do something new? Like, we're in college. Now's the perfect time to go out and have fun. Go to parties, meet new people, you know? And take a moment to ponder on what Barn is saying. I will admit that I've gotten a bit of FOMO from him every now and then. Burn is always doing something, I always see pics of him at school events, games, parties. Just last weekend, he was at a music festival that he'd been hyping up for months. All my weekends are spent in my dorm playing video games, at least. When I'm not at a football game, I'm obligated to be at anyway. I guess Byrne has a point. I could stand to do some more exciting things while I'm still young. College is meant to be all about new experiences, right? But then again, sounds like a lot of work. Huh? Going out every weekend. Where's the time to just, chill out and relax? That is your chill out time, dude. Nah, that sounds exhausting. Agreed. Man, you guys are lame. But you love us anyway. True, at least until someone cooler and hotter than you comes along to steal me away. Burn. I'm kidding, it's a joke. Burn elbows Nas in the gut, but the bear stands firm and retaliates by wrapping an arm around the smaller rabbit's shoulders and shaking him around. I can't help but chortle while I stand on the sidelines, and eventually we continue our trek to the new sushi place. Do you ever watch that volleyball anime I told you about? Yeah, but I couldn't get into it. Way too much fan service. What's the matter with that? Everything. How am I supposed to focus on the plot when I'm slapped in the face by a dragon's fat jiggling tits every few seconds? Credence. Sorry. So what? You're just not into boobs? Burn. What? I want to know. I paused, coming to a realization. Had I not come out to them yet? Did I ever tell? I'm cut off by the revving of the loudest engine known to man. All three of us whip our heads in the direction of the sound and see a shiny black motorcycle barreling towards us, shrouded in the clouds of dust. Its wheels are spurring up. I can't make out its rider, though. Well, through the dust. I can't make out its rider through the dust, but I can definitely see his antlers jutting tall and proud from his unhelmeted head. This guy's driving way too fast on a city road. I, in a moment of mutual unspoken concern, step away from the street, but Burns stands still, staring in awe. Oh, Jack. Ah! I flinch as the motorcycle speeds past us, flattening Burn in the process, then skids to a stop a few yards away. Oh my gosh, Burn! My legs! Nancy immediately rushes over to Burn, and I belatedly realize I should probably help too. But before I can get close, the Buck dismounts his bike and cuts me off. Hey. Hi? He's tall. His antlers make him even taller. I have to look past his barrel of a chest to see the casual, sleazy-looking expression on his face. He crosses his arms and I get a good look at the tattooed image of a snake coiling around his bicep. Sorry about your friend. Wasn't paying attention to where I was going because I was too busy staring at you. Oh, that's dangerous. I like living dangerously. Besides, I'm sure he'll be alright. My arm is backwards, but enough about that. You look like a guy that knows how to have a good time. I stare at him through my thick-rimmed glasses, shuffling awkwardly in my oversized windbreaker and slip-on sandals. Byrne once complimented me on my divorced librarian costume 3 weeks after Halloween. How about we go out tonight? You, me, us. I don't know about that. I have to go see my friend in the hospital. He cuts me off by reaching into his pocket and flashing a pair of movie tickets in my face. I recognize the titles written on them almost instantly. Well, are these for the Kaiju movie marathon happening tonight? The one and only. Why don't you come tonight? It'll be fun. Maybe. Wait, there's a date. He turns away, gets back on his motorcycle. He winks at me before revving the engine and zooming off in the direction he came, running over Burn a second time. Man. He disappears in a cloud of dust, riding off into the horizon. Huh. Credence. Who was that? I don't know. I didn't get his name. He ran over Byrne. Twice. I look at Byrne's crumpled body on the ground, then back into the distance. What do you think? About Byrne? I mean, he definitely needs an ambulance, but know about that deer guy. He invited me to that kaiju movie marathon happening tonight. I think I might go. Credence, you can't be serious. I mean, why not, right? Call hospital. I don't know. He just seems suspicious to me. I don't trust him. I mean, we're just going to the movies. I'm not gonna get in the car with him or anything. Credence. Relax, Nash. I'm sure it'll be fine. Plus, I really want to see those movies. Nash just looks unsure, but eventually he lets out a heaving sigh that I'm extremely familiar with. It's his sigh of defeat. Alright, if you really want to go. But let me drive you there, at least, okay? Ah, Nash, you don't have to do that for me. But I want to. That throws me off for a moment. I don't remember Nash ever sounding that committed. But if he but if he's that worried about me, the least I could do is indulge him, and that beats taking the bus. Okay, I'll be ready at 5. Good. Alright, I'm gonna take Burn to the ER. Alright, see you later then. We fist bump, and then Nash bends over and hoists Burn over his shoulder before walking towards the hospital. I go the opposite way, already thinking about tonight. Nash pulls into the movie theater parking lot, driving no faster than 5 miles per hour. His foot is poised perfectly on the brake just in case someone happens to spontaneously appear in a puff of smoke in front of his truck. I take my earbuds out of my ears, catching the tail end of the manufactured country song Nash had going right before he turns the volume down. I can't stand that stuff, but I also can't bear to see the look on his face when I tell him so. I've never seen a man so passionate over songs about tractors and beer. Especially a man who doesn't own a tractor and doesn't drink beer. Thanks again for taking me here, Nas. I super appreciate it. Of course, you know I'm more than happy to do anything for you, Credence. Here, let me drop you off at the entrance. The parking lot is used and we creep towards the front of the theater at a snail's pace. I think it would be faster if I got out and walked. So, is there anything I can do to convince you not to see this guy? I look at Nas, but his gaze is fixed firmly ahead. The only thing betraying his image of crystal clear focus is the drumming of his fingers on the steering wheel. As I told you, I'll be fine. I'm just watching a few movies with him. No big deal. I know you said as much already, but I don't know. I just don't like him. Something about him just rubs me the wrong way. You worry too much. You know that? So I've been told. I smile at him in what I hope is a reassuring way, but the grimace doesn't leave Nash's face. One eternity later, we make it to the front of the theater, and I open the passenger door to get out. Don't forget your backpack. Nash, come on, you sound like my mom dropping me off at school. I'm a grown man. I say it as I take my Kaiju Plussy shaped backpack from beneath the passenger seat. Just tell me you'll be careful. I will, Goss. Thank you. All right. I'm off to see Byrne at the hospital. We're going to be watching a few movies ourselves. He's pretty upset since he won't be able to play in the baseball game next weekend, so I thought I'd cheer him up. That's sweet of you, Nance, but I thought, you know what? Never mind. Tell him I said hi. Will do. Have fun and be safe. I wave Nance off before walking into the movie theater. I walk in and start looking for the buck I met earlier that day, slinging my Kaiju Pussy / backpack over my shoulder. It's stuffed to the gills with candy I brought from home. I wanted to be nice and get the buck something too, but I have no idea what he likes, so I just grabbed a little bit of everything. Sadly, though, not surprisingly, he doesn't seem to be here yet. At least I think so, and the anxious part of me thinks that he's staring at me from somewhere and I just don't recognize him, but I'd be hard pressed to forget those antlers. I scanned the floor one more time just to be sure, but nope, I don't see him. I guess I'm early. Oh well, might as well. Hey, Jesus. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a hooved hand touch my shoulder and I recoil on instinct, turning to face the buck and his self satisfied smile. Holy crap, where did you come from? I was waiting for you. Don't tell me you didn't see me standing over there. He points in the direction of the arcade, where I'm certain there wasn't a 7 foot tall, antlers included, stag standing just a few seconds ago. Guess not. It's dark in here. Heh, no worries, kid. My face squanches up at that nickname. Credence is fine. Come to think of it, I didn't get your name either. Is that right? Yes. Ah, well, my name's Fleetwood. Alright, cool. Nice to meet you, Fleetwood. Same to you, kid. It's quick. Let me take care of the popcorn, alright? Before I can protest, Fleetwood saunters over to the concessions line, cutting off a couple that had gotten there just after him. The guy backs up to give him space, but the girl say something to him that makes him look wildly between her and Fleetwood. Deciding to take his chances with the bug, I watch the fox dude tap him on the shoulder, opening his mouth to say something. And before he can even get it out, Fleetwood gives him the mother of all death glares, and can almost see the laser shooting out of his eyes and disintegrating the dude on the spot. The fox dude's words get caught in his throat and he meekly steps backwards, his tail between his legs, before wandering towards a different, much longer line. The girl goes after him, clearly exasperated, and the only thing I can think is, that poor guy. I look back at Fleetwood as we make eye contact. He gives me a smile and a wave and then turns to borrow food. In the end, Fleetwood got an extra large tub of popcorn for the two of us, a large cherry cola for me, and a margarita for himself, which I can't help but comment on. You're drinking. Are you driving after this? It's just one drink, kid. These movie theater drinks are weak shit, anyways. Yeah, but like, that's still alcohol. You're saying I can't hold my liquor. No, it's just like I wave my free hand while I'm trying to find the right words to say without upsetting him. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain why drinking before driving is a bad idea. I thought the billions of PSAs took care of that already. Relax, kid. I know my limits. I'm not trying to get sit face during a movie. Anyways, right now, I'm all about spending time with you. That's nice. We find our seats and get settled in. The theater is moderately packed, but luckily nobody comes and sits down right next to us. We sit happily in the center of a pocket of empty seats. So, you're a fan of this giant monster stuff? Oh, dude, I love kaiju movies. Could you say you're a fan of big things, huh? Yeah, mostly just kaiju stuff. Like, I tried getting into mecha anime, but it didn't hit the same way for me. Like the giant city destroying, you can do anything but like when, not like giant monsters. Okay, Tess is going through on his own here. Can't be that fast. So, I don't know. What about you? They're cool, I guess. He turns away from me, suddenly taken with whatever's happening on the screen. I look, there's a local ad playing about the importance of supporting your resident sewage treatment plant. Huh. He didn't strike me as the type of guy to be interested in that kind of stuff. We while away the minutes waiting for the previews to finish by making small talk, interrupted by bouts of popcorn munching. But once the movie starts, I huss up, my eyes glued to the screen. Like always, I'm immediately enraptured. I don't know how many times I've seen this movie, but it never gets old for me. Even the boring, expository human stuff. Around 10 minutes into the movie, though, I hear Fleetwood sit in his seat next to me. Around 10 minutes into the movie, though, I hear Fleetwood sit in his seat next to me, and a moment later, I feel his arm across my shoulders. I tense up immediately. I break away from staring at the screen to look at Fleetwood, but he's got his eyes firmly on the screen, idly swirling the drink in his other hand. Is is this normal? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. His arm is dense with muscle, and after I get over the initial shock, I find that it's actually quite comfortable. His bicep is like a thick, firm pillow for my head to rest on, and I find myself leaning closer to his body. But then I pick up on something else. My whiskers twitch involuntarily. Hey, hmm? He looks at me with those dark, half-lidded eyes. I don't want to embarrass you, but it's a musk, isn't it? He lets out a little chuckle, apparently pleased that he read my mind. Sorry, kid. Decided to get a quick workout in before throwing up. You don't mind, do you? I mean, I guess not, but it's kind of strong. I know. No, I mean, like, really strong. Do you want some deodorant? Do I want? I grab my pussy backpack and root through the ocean of candy boxes, finding a stick of extra strength deodorant. On the front is an image of a feral octopus getting punched by a wolf with an anchor on his arm. You just carry that around with you? It's not because I'm a skunk. If that's what you're thinking, I just like to keep fresh after marching band rehearsal. He gives me an odd look before begrudgingly taking the deodorant, popping the top off, and applying it to his pits. Pretty soon, his muscle replaced by a team of scientists' best attempt at chemically replicating the smell of ocean breeze. He gives the deodorant back to me, and I dutifully return it to my backpack pushing, before focusing back on the movie. And I don't really like letting other people use my deodorant. I mean, you got there all that dirt and sweat on your deodorant now. His arm disappears from behind me, but I didn't notice. We don't say anything to each other for the rest of the movie. Oh man, I can never get enough of that movie. You know, it came out 27 years ago and it still holds up. Mm-hmm. Like seriously, those special effects are just incredible. I mean, I guess it's the movies in black and white. You can't really tell that all they're all just miniatures, but still. Yep. And could you imagine being the guy having to waddle around in that huge monster suit? Apparently, the original costume was so hot and heavy that the suit actor couldn't go more than 3 minutes before passing out. Oh yeah, yeah. I think they ended up having to make a second suit for him. They cut the original suit in half, and all right, well, that was a lot of fun, kid. But how about we ditch this place and head somewhere A little more cozy, huh? Hmm? Fleetwood opens the door for me, and we step out into the chilly night air. But what about the second movie? The sequel's not great, I'll admit, but it's still a good time. They actually messed up when they filmed a monster fight scene. They ended up speeding up the footage instead of slowing it down. So it's just like, so it just looks like something out of a slapstick show. Fleetwood cuts me off by putting a hand on my shoulder. Forget the movie, kid. Why don't we head back to my place? You want to, huh? I stare up at him, feeling like I'm out of the loop. For some reason, I wonder how he isn't freezing in this wind, considering how thin his fur is compared to mine. Why as I finish thinking, why as I finish thinking, he shivers. Hey, we should head back inside. You kinda look. Don't worry about it, kid. I don't need anything but you to warm me up. He pulls me closer to his body, and I fall into him like a sack of potatoes. My hands come up to stop my fall, and they land squarely on his well muscled chest. Oh my god, what the hell is happening? I freeze up. He's got both his arms around me, coiling around my shoulders like a pair of anacondas. His body is warm, astonishingly warm. I look up at him, and suddenly our muzzles are inches apart from each other. I can feel his breath on the tip of my cold snout. He doesn't say anything, he just purses his lips and leans in. And finally, my brain starts working again. I don't push him away so much as I slide out of my embrace like jelly. I tumble away and stand straight up about a yard away, staring wide eyed at the buck. What's the matter, kid? Moving too fast for you? No worries. We can take things a bit slower if you like. Oh, it's not that, Fleetwood. I'm so sorry. I don't want to disappoint you, but I had no idea that's what you were leading towards, and sorry, but I'm Ace. Huh? Oh, asexual. Really? Yeah. Or are you sure? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Honestly, I've never tried, but anyway, you're a cool guy, Fleetwood, but I'm not really interested in you in that way. The butt doesn't say anything, just continuing to stare at me in seeming disbelief. I stand there awkwardly, trying to rub some warmth into my arms. You okay, dude? Yeah, no, I'm fine. It's just, are you sure, sure? Alright, now I'm starting to get irritated. Well, yes, I'm not gonna have sex with you just because you don't believe me, dude. Well, but that, but I was told, I thought, he's stammering. I never thought I'd see him so flustered. Now I feel bad for snapping. Man, I'm sorry if I made you think I was stringing you along, Fleetwood, but if it helps, I do think you're a really cool guy. I'd love to hang out again sometime if you want. He doesn't respond right away, apparently still grappling with the revelation of my sexuality. Eventually, though, he does manage to recompose himself, standing up straight and crossing his arms. That persistently confident smile returns to his face, but this time his eyes are wide open. You know what? That's fine, kid. Really? Yeah, don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. My shoulders relax, a relieved smile forming on my muzzle. All right, cool. Thanks, Fleetwood. Sure thing, kid. You don't have to worry about a thing because I'm gonna kidnap you. Sorry, what? When I wake up, it's not like how it is in the movies, where they're all groggy and stuff after being drugged. and they think they're in a dream. It feels like it feels just like it does waking up in my dorm in the morning. Except I'm not in my dorm. I'm in a room that looks like it belongs in a crack house. Also, I'm handcuffed to a pair of bedposts. Also, Fleetwood standing there shirtless with a box of chocolate covered almonds in his hand. Also, there's a hockey game playing on the TV. That's how I know this is a dream. I never watched a hockey game in my life. Morning, kid. Thanks for the candy. How you feeling? I'm just a little concerned. Relax, I ain't gonna hurt you. Just thought you might need a little extra convincing. So I tied you up. Help get you in the mood. What is that? What this is? I'm talking a handcuff. For emphasis, feeling something soft and furry around my waist. I look up and see my hand bound by a cheap plastic handcuff with fuzzy pink lining. Did you buy this from a toy store? I didn't buy them. I stole them, obviously. You couldn't steal a nicer pair? What does that matter? Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm not into bondage. Shit, really? I thought all you mortals were into it. Mortals. He ignores me, walking over to a cooler in the corner of the room and pulling out a can of beer. He pops it open, drinks the whole thing in one go, then crushes it against his forehead before tossing it into a plastic bin and grabbing another one. He walks over to a lawn chair and plops himself into it, dropping the can into the cup holder. Well, plan A was a bust, and now plan B isn't going so well either. He watches the hockey game on the TV intently, stroking a tuft of fur at the end of his chin. Wait, were you seriously planning to take me back here last night? Dude, this place sucks. Oh, come on, it's not that bad. You're sitting in a lawn chair, indoors. See, didn't realize you mortals were too good for lawn chairs and $5 handcuffs. Look, there's that mortal thing again. What are you talking about, dude? Fleetwood doesn't answer, tapping a hoof finger on the edge of his armrest. Then he stops, turning his head to look at me. His eyes glint, the light from the screen bounce off of them in this weird, unnatural way. It makes them look red. Yeah, I think it would just be easier to show you. Maybe it'll help too. Before I can ask what that means, Fleetwood stands up, turning his entire body to face me. Suddenly, the room gets darker than it already was, barely lit by the glow of the TV. At the same time, Fleetwood's eyes start to shine like a pair of tinted headlights on a car driving down a dark, winding road. I thought his eyes were red at first, but now I see they're actually purple. The image of hellfire sears itself into my brain, and for some reason, cabbage. He raises his arms out to the side, fist clenched, and turns his muzzle up to the ceiling. Then, to my complete disbelief, a pair of leathery wings sprout from his back, flapping once before folding in like a gargoyle. When he looks at me again, his eyes are burning a deep violet hue. His sclera turn black. I can see flecks of red dancing around his pupils. Surprise, kid. Now you know what I really am. Uh, you're, you're a vampire. You can't actually be that stupid, can you? You're not a vampire. Yes, I'm an incubus, kid. A demon of the night. Surely you've heard of us. It's all eternal mission to come and corrupt innocent souls like yours. You ever knew anybody who became a completely different person once they got a boyfriend? Thought you were a buddy buddy, or thought you were all buddy buddy, would do anything for each other. Then one day, out of the blue, you realize you haven't had thought you were all buddy buddy, would do anything for each other. Then one day, out of the blue, you realize you haven't seen them in a while, and you never will again. They don't show up to your little get-togethers, won't answer your texts, won't pick up your calls, too busy spending time with the new love of their life to care about you. Eventually, you will forget about them the same way they forgot about you. Then we dump them, leave them with a broken heart that can't be mended, and move on to the next target. That's us, kid. All it takes is one date. At least that's usually how it goes. I think. You think? He scratches the fur on the back of his neck awkwardly. As truth be told, kid, you're my first target. Never been out in the field on my own till you. Oh, I'm sorry. You're sorry? Yeah, 'cause I'm still not into you. What? Still? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You kidnapped me. Handcuffed me. Yes, I'm sure. You kidnapped me. Handcuffed me. Fine. I'll get the damn fancy handcuffs. And you think I want to get in bed with you after all that? Works in the books. Dude, even if I weren't ace, that's like totally not the way to go. Well, if you know everything about landing a date, why don't you tell me about it, kid? I don't, because I'm ace. I feel like we've established that pretty well already. Fleetwood huffs through his nose, clearly frustrated, pinching the bridge of his snout. It only now dawns on me that Fleetwood could actually hurt me if he wanted to, like really hurt me. With both of my hands tied up, I have no way of fighting back if he tried anything antsy. I mean, even if I weren't tied up, I don't know if I could take on a 7 foot tall demon stag by myself. I guess if he tried to tear my pants off, I could spoil him. Suddenly, Fleetwood stares at me, his expression unreadable. He stomps towards me, rattling the bed, and my heart stops to race as I prepare to do what I needed to do. But then he just plops himself down at the edge of the bed near my feet, nearly sending me flying like I were on a trampoline. He looks at me again with huge flaming eyes and a pout. Please, no, damn it. He turns away and puts his head in his hands. We stay like that for a while, sitting in silence. Eventually, my attention turns from Fleetwood to the hockey game on the TV. Oh, Keith Billard. Huh? 19th century mathematician. Oh God, I hate these kind of clues. I swear I've seen this one before, but I'm so bad at remembering names. Fleetwood leans over, and I angle my phone so that he can take a look. Oh, Ada, Lovelace. Cool lady. Love to gamble. You knew her or what? Could say something like that. Had a buddy who were had a buddy who knew her dad, and she'd take me along sometimes. How old are you? Good question. When did they stop hunting witches? Good question. My arm started to fall asleep. Guess he might be centuries in. I don't know, probably like at least a few hundred, or at least 200 years old at least. Let me get that for you. I put my phone in my lap and raise my free hand up. Fleetwood leans over and clicks the cuff around my waist, then shifts to the other side and unlocks the second cuff. I pick up my phone, type Lovelace, and move on to the next clue. Site of the infamous 1693 witch trials. Well, there you go. Kind of figured it'd be like the 1600s. That's what I was thinking also, 1600s. We hang out like that for a while, occasionally pausing to let Fleetwood uncuff and recuff my hands as needed. He still doesn't want to let me go. I think he thinks he still has a chance, but he hasn't tried to hurt me or coerce me or anything like that. Apparently, he has to wait for me to make the first move. Consent is big in hell, he says. It's not it's not temptation if you make them do it. So far, the most he's done is stare at me longingly, offer to let me feel his abs, and when he was especially desperate, sold off by eating a hot dog in one bite. I was impressed with that one. Otherwise, we've just been alternating between watching TV and doing crosswords together. Progress has been slow though. I write 8 down 6 letters. Let me in. Let me in. What does that mean? Oh, these kinds of clues usually want you to think of a phrase that has the same meaning. So, like, you could say "let me in," or you could say something like "open up." I'm jolted up by a loud and sudden pounding on the door. Fleetwood is already on his feet, but he remains silent as the door rattles on its hinges. Quiddence, are you in there? Are you okay? Nass, hang on, I'm gonna get you out of there, all right? Fleetwood and I stayed frozen as we listened to Nass's heavy footfalls fade away. Well, where's he going? Guess he gave up already. Not like he would have been able to do anything against that lock. It's reinforced. There's no way he's getting that door. I yelp as the door suddenly splits in half. A pair of splinters cover the door at Fleetwood's feet. Nash tries to pull his foot back through the hole and, well, Nash tries to pull his feet back through the Nash tries to pull his foot back through the hole. He just kicked through the door, but it gets caught, and I see him trying to pull it back through with both hands without falling over on his ass. Oh, come on, dude. You know how long it's gonna take to clean that up. Fleetwood snaps his fingers, and each individual piece of debris disappears in a puff of smoke. You can do that, but you can't get a nicer chair. It's comfortable. There's another cry of shattered wood as Nash elects to punch the door open, this time sending the entire top half of it flying across the room. Nash wrestles with what little is left of the door before tearing it off the hinge and throwing it into the hallway. He steps into Fleetwood's apartment, his chest heaving, his face contorted into a mask of pure, unfiltered rage. I've never seen him like this before. It's incredibly unsettling. His eyes briefly scan the room before settling on me, and in an instant, all the anger on his expression. His eyes briefly scan the room before settling on me, and in an instant, all the anger in his expression melts to concern. I wave at him with my cuffed hand. Credence, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? Back off, bear. Fleetwood steps in between me and Nash. His broad, leathery wings block my view. Before the moment I was able to see his face, Nash didn't look the least bit surprised to see the demon standing in front of him. The kid's mine. Why don't you just head on out of here, and I won't have to burn you to a crisp? Foul hellspawn, foul hellspawn, you will never have your way with him. Vile hellspawn, did he just get back from the Ren Fair or something? This doesn't seem to faze Fleetwood, but the buck doesn't make a move right away. I can see his hand twitching at his hip like a gunslinger ready to whip his pistol out and fire. Nash, presumably, is the exact same way. The air is heavy with anticipation. I don't know what Fleetwood is capable of, but Nash doesn't seem like he's willing to back down. He doesn't even seem scared. Uh, hey, guys. I shouldn't have said anything. I might as well have said fire. Fleetwood's hand swings back like he's getting ready to throw a pitch, and I see it become engulfed in purple reddish flame. As he twists his body to lob the ball of fire at Nash, I can see the bear straight on again, his palms up and out like a catcher behind home base. Just as Fleetwood shoots forward to throw, I see a pinprick of white light coalesce in the space between his fingers. And suddenly, I'm blind. It's like the flash of the world's biggest camera. I screw my eyes shut on instinct, and at the same time, I hear Fleetwood let out a harsh, guttural cry, which is promptly followed by a whoosing sound that lasts less than a second. I open my eyes again and try to blink the stars out of my eyes. I see Nancy's silhouette in front of me, but it doesn't look right. A second later, I see the reason why. Credence, talk to me, buddy. Are you okay? He didn't hurt you, did he? I'm stunned. Nash is hovering over me, looking me over with huge, frowning eyes. I stare back, my jaw agape. Seeing that I'm unhurt, he turns attention to my face and gives me a relieved smile, an expression I'm much more familiar with. It takes me a second for my brain to start working again to tell my friend that I'm alright, that Fleetwood didn't try to touch me. It was actually a pretty cool guy, all things considered, to ask if the angel wings are new or if they were always there. But I don't have time to say any of that because he's leaning in to kiss me. So I just smack him instead. Oh, dude. He looks at me with huge, confused eyes, over the point where my hand hits his cheek. I don't think I actually hurt him. Dude's built like a brick house, but I must have surprised him nonetheless. Credence, why'd you hit me? Because I just got kidnapped and you just showed up out of nowhere and killed a guy, and you're an angel apparently, and it's like, hello? I didn't kill him. He got out of the way and I only clipped his wing. He probably teleported away and is licking his wounds right about now. He'll be back soon enough. Nash sighs heavily as if this is some great failure on his part. I'm sorry, I probably have a lot of explaining to do, don't I? Yeah, dude, but can you uncuff me first? I really need to pee. That barbarian, he didn't let you go to the restroom? Well, I never asked. I didn't want to be rude. We leave Fleetwood's apartment right after I take a whiz. I was worried about his neighbors calling the police or something after hearing his door get smashed to pieces, but we didn't have to worry about that after all. The building was totally abandoned. We emerged out onto a dark, deserted street, dimly lit by flickering street lamps. I briefly entertained the notion that I've been dragged into a horror game. It's gusty tonight. I watch a long newspaper page as it rides the breeze before getting caught in a bus, a rogue basketball chasing after it. I wrap my windbreaker tighter, and while my body shivering, instinctively I move towards Nash, hoping to steal some of the bed's warmth, but I quickly catch myself instead. Do you know where we are? I don't think I've been on this side of town before. We're downtown. Actually, we're not that far from campus. Let me walk you back to your dorm, Credence. Um, can we eat first? My dinner so far has only been popcorn and sour strings. That monster didn't feed you? Was he planning to starve you until you agreed to... He looks like it pains him to get the words out, so I awkwardly cut him off. Well, actually, he offered me one of those microwavable dinner things, but it looked rank as hell, so... Stop. I heard all I need to hear. We start walking, Nash grumbling about the scent of watery pasta sauce until we come across a 24-hour fast food place 2 blocks down. The place is totally empty, save for the dude behind the counter that looks like he's running off on energy drinks in the fear of college debt. I sigh. It's a little warmer in here, or at least not as windy. I go up to place my order and then sit with Nash on a plastic chair, so uncomfortable it would give lesser men a heart attack. Neither of us are willing to start the inevitable conversation. I drum my fingers on the table awkwardly while Nash studies the table marker. Eventually, though, I speak up. So, you're an angel. Not just any angel, I'm your guardian angel, Credence. Oh, I get to have one of those? Of course, everyone gets one. From the moment a human is born, God assigns them a guardian angel to care for them and protect them from those who would wish them harm. Those like Fleetwood. Now spits his name out like it scalded his tongue. Fleetwood didn't want to hurt me, though he was actually pretty nice, aside from the abducting. He was manipulating Lou. He was manipulating. He was manipulating you, Credence. It's what they do. They sour their targets with love and affection to drive them away from the people they really care about them. He was manipulating you, Credence. It's what they do. They sour their targets with love and affection to drive them away from the people that really care about them. The bear scowls as he says the last sentence. It's almost frightening how serious he is all of a sudden. I don't think I've ever seen him this angry about anything before. Feeling uneasy, I decide to pivot away from Fleetwood for the moment. How'd you find me, by the way? Oh, I know where you are all the time. It's just one of my capabilities as your guardian angel. When you left the movie theater last night, I foolishly thought you were walking to the bus stop, but then you breezed right past it. By the time I realized something was wrong, Fleetwood had already managed to obscure your presence from me, so I couldn't get you right away. I had to manually search the entirety of downtown to find you. You know where I am all the time? Of course, assuming no outside interference, of course. You look uncomfortable. Do you want to switch seats? The bench is a little softer. No, I'm good. Nash looks like he's about to say something else, but then my food arrives on a plastic platter and we move on. I wrap my chicken sandwich and dig into it with all the energy of a dying animal. I cover my mouth while I chew, talking between bites. So, hmm, his ears perk up. Back in Fleetwood's apartment, when I was still chained to the bed, you tried to kiss me. Right, I'm sorry, Credence. I shouldn't have done that. No, it's cool. It wasn't, actually. And I'm sorry for slapping you. I guess my nerves were just shot from the whole. It's alright, I forgive you. Cool, thanks. I punctuate the end of the conversation with a sip of soda. Bananas still looks uncomfortable. He's crumbled my straw paper into a ball that he's rolling back and forth between his fingers. It slips out of his hands and lands on the floor. He leans over and dutifully picks it back up, along with an empty ketchup packet and an old fry that's been there. Nance always said to leave every room cleaner than how you found it. I think if he had his way, he'd leave every room as sterile as an operating room. A lot of his weirder habits are making a lot more sense now, knowing about the whole angel thing. It takes me a few more minutes to finish my sandwich and fries. I'm not hungry anymore, at least, but I still feel like shit. Probably due in part to the sandwich. Things are just so weird all of a sudden. Getting kidnapped is one thing, but having your kidnapper turn out to be a demon who wants to get in your pants is just an entirely new level of wild I wasn't prepared for. And then getting rescued by your best friend who's really your guardian angel. Not that I'm not grateful, but where do you even begin with that? Ah, whatever. I stand up suddenly, tray in hand. I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go home. Sleep until noon, and then I'll sort everything out when I wake up. Credence. Nast gets up after me and follows me to the exit as I throw my trash out. Yeah? There's still something I need to tell you. Alright, but can it wait until tomorrow? I'm really tired. He pauses, shifting from foot to foot. I'd rather tell you now, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell you later. Okay? I remove my hand from where it was on the door and face the bear head on. It takes a deep breath. Well, he takes a deep breath before letting it all out in one big anxious sigh. I know that this is unorthodox, but it's something that I've been thinking about for a very long time. I've been wanting to tell you for a while now, actually, but I was always too worried about ruining our friendship. And now, with all this craziness with that demon, I think it's time I come clean. What he's going on about? Is this still about the whole angel thing? Or this? No, come on. It's true. I am your guardian angel, and most would think it's unprofessional to feel this way about their charge. But I can't help the way I feel about you, and I think it would be a sin to hide the truth from you, to hide it from myself. No, no, come on. I can't deny it anymore. Credence, the reason I tried to kiss you back there was because I love you. Ah, um, I'm sorry. You're, huh? I'm flattered. You're flattered. Um, it's not you, it's me. What, Credence? What are you saying right now? I don't know, man. I've never had to reject somebody before till like 6 hours ago. Huh? Agrum is trying to look away, trying to look anywhere but at the bear's helpless, distraught face. Ness, I don't like you like that way, like at all. Don't get me wrong. You're also friend, and I'm happy that I get to know you, but I don't want to like date you or anything. Or are you sure? Oh my God, this again. I feel a ball of irritation rise up in my chest, and I have to take a deep breath to squeeze it back down. Yes, I'm sure. I'm a romantic too, Nas. You. Ah, no, we don't have to do anything like that if you don't want to. I cock an eyebrow. If you don't want to have sex, that's completely fine. We're supposed to get married before that anyway, but of course I completely respect your decision. What? You said anything about marriage? Oh, well, that's how it goes, isn't it? Isn't it? We date and then we get married, then. Nance, I don't want to get married, especially to you. I mean, sorry, that came out a bit harsh. Look, I'm sorry for upsetting you, Nance, but I still want to be friends, I promise. Just not partners. Nance continues to stand there with his muzzle agape, looking almost frantic in how he struggles to find the right words to say. But I don't understand. How could you not want to have a partner? What? I don't know. I just don't, okay? He shakes his head, bringing a hand up to rub at his temple, and then he stops, his eyes going wild like he's having some kind of epiphany. Of course, I'm so sorry, Credence. That was stupid of me. Yeah. You're flustered for what happened with Fleetwood. It's all right. I understand. Listen, after I take you back to your dorm, you can get some rest. I'll deal with Fleetwood, and then we can live the rest of your life together, happily ever after. Ness, shut up. What? You don't believe me, do you? About me being, well, ace. You probably think I'm delusional. How could I not want to have a partner? Everybody must want to have one, right? It's fine, I get it. Fleetwood thought the same thing too. He winces being compared to that demon must have really thrown him off. But I don't really care anymore. I'm tired of being questioned about my identity. I'm going home. Credence, wait. But I'm already pushing the door open, and Nancy's voice is drowned out by the howling wind. I make it 2 or 3 blocks before I realize I don't know where I'm going. I'm headed in the same direction Nas and I were walking before we stopped, but I actually don't know if that'll take me back to campus. I whip around for a kind, I whip around for any kind of landmark I recognize that I can use as a marker, but the buildings are too tall to see anything beyond them. I'm totally lost. I stop dead in my tracks and pull out my phone. It's running on fumes after being uncharged for so long. But hopefully it'll be enough to at least get me to somewhere I recognize. I type in my address, and after a few moments of buffering, I'm thrown back a route that'll get me there in 10 minutes. I just hope that there's no weirdos wandering around this late at night. I don't have my guardian angel around to stop me from getting mugged. Where is he? You think he would have come after me, but as I look back, I don't see him anymore. Well, that's just fine. I don't want to see him right now anyway. I start walking again. The wind cuts through my jacket and chills me to the bone, but I just stuff my hands in my pockets and press on. I don't even know how to describe what I'm feeling right now. Manipulated feels like too strong of a word to use, but that's the only way I can think of describing it. But it's not really, is it? Nash is my friend. There's no doubt about that. Even if he was like assigned to me or whatever, a guy wouldn't listen to me drone about kaiju movie production if he didn't care. But that was a problem too, right? That he cared too much. He said he loved me. For some reason, the sheer thought of it is absurd to me. I thought we were just best friends. Had I been doing something to make him think we could be anything more? I think about all the times that we hung out, and all of a sudden it becomes all too obvious. I've always been comfortable getting close to Nas, leaning on him, hugging him, that kind of stuff. He just had such a warm, calming presence, and we've been friends for so long. I didn't see anything weird about him. I remember how he reacted when I leaned against him yesterday afternoon, how he put my glasses on for me when they had fallen off. And that moment was that, did he sit? Did I fuck up? I grimaced at the thought. God, how oblivious do I have to be to not see it? Of course, he'd think I was in love with him. God, what the hell is wrong with me? No, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just, I'm just feeling guilty about rejecting him. Him having feelings for me doesn't change the way I feel about him, and I don't have to change myself to match what he wants from me. He wouldn't want that, right? My phone vibrates and I pull it out of my pocket just in time to see it change my route. I roll my eyes, but I follow along anyway, taking a detour down a path between 2 buildings. This quickly turns out to be a mistake. My phone shakes and reroutes again. Reroutes again. I follow it for about 5 yards before it changes its mind and reroutes again. The street disappears behind me, and I'm led down a winding alley path that I almost immediately lose track of. My phone starts freaking out, trying to figure out where the hell I am, and then a message pops up. Location devices have been disabled. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. Awesome. It's almost 3 in the morning, and I somehow wandered right into the labyrinth. I'm either going to die walking around for the rest of my life, or a monitor is gonna show up and gore me and eat my pancreas or whatever. Awesome. It's almost 3 in the morning, and I've somehow wandered right into the labyrinth. I'm either going to be Am I going to die walking around for the rest of my life, or a monitor is going to show up and gore me and eat my pancreas or whatever? I look around helplessly, trying to remember the path I just took, but everything looks exactly the same way to me. I end up choosing a direction at random and just praying that it'll take me where I need to go. It's not efficient, but it's better than standing around doing nothing. I try to keep track of where I have and haven't been, but everything blends together in here. I have nothing but trash cans, trash bags, and graffiti with slurs in them to guide me. Somehow, I think this would be a lot easier with breadcrumbs. Eventually, I come out into a wide open space, but it's not the street I started from. It looks like I'm in a courtyard or something, a square plot surrounded by buildings on all sides, save for the alley I used to get here. In the center is an absolutely massive pile of brush, way bigger than any normal brush pile I've ever seen. It's tall and wide enough that I could disappear into it if I wanted to, except I don't, because I don't want ticks, so I turn on my heel, preparing to go back and try a different route. And then the brush pile catches on fire. I don't know why or how, it just does. So 1 second, it was just a normal, unignited brush pile, and the next it had gone up in flames. The flames are questioned why it's higher than the roofs of the buildings. Instinctively, I know I should get the fuck away, but something about it catches my attention. It's not burning. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obviously on fire, but it's not burning up like it should be. There's no smoke or heat coming out, despite the intensity of the blaze. What the hell's going on here? Credence, credence, credence. Nubal. It is I, the god of your ancestors. Oh, fuck off. Come close. Remove your sandals, for you walk on holy ground. What? I'm not doing that. This place looks grimy as hell. You would deny the will of your lord. Dude, I can see like 5 needles on the ground here. Okay, fine. Keep your shoes on. Still, you must come closer. I do, cautiously edging as close to the burning, but not burning, brush as I can without getting lit by the heatless flames. Credence, I have sent an angel unto you to care for you and to shield you from harm. And I have seen that you have rebuked him and rebuked his love for you. Why have you refused the angel I have granted unto you? Oh my God, is this seriously happening right now? Yes. Ugh. Look, Nance is a good friend, and I'm happy I know him, but I just don't see him that way. And I'm sorry if I upset him, but I don't know. Wouldn't it bring wouldn't it bring to pretend to love him when I really don't? And like, wouldn't it be weird to fall in love with an angel anyway? It is not as uncommon as you think. It actually happens startlingly often. And it is true. It is a sin to be dishonest even to oneself. However, it is a much greater sin to deny the will of your Lord. Is the angel I chose for you really that appalling? What? No, I just got done saying he was my best friend, didn't I? I just don't want to get into a relationship with him. I'm L. Ace. I can't help it. I look at myself in my hands into my pockets. Your arrow, Ace. Yeah, so you have no interest in sexual or romantic relationships? Yes. Or are you sure? Oh my God. Yes. I burn my face in my hands and try not to scream. Look, dude, I'm done being questioned about why I don't want to screw dudes. I don't see why that has to do. I don't see why that has to be everybody's problem. Never in my life have I ever felt like I needed to get a boyfriend to be happy. Everyone tells me it's so great, but honestly, I don't see why I need to have one. I'm fine doing my own thing, but apparently everyone else isn't because they keep trying to shove it down my throat every chance they get. I'm fucking sick of it. Whoa, dude. What? I glare at the bus and the fire whips away from me like it's recording. I, er, I recognize the strength of your willpower. It is, admirable. I'll save it. I wave a hand dismissively at God. Look, I just want to go home and sleep, man. It's been a long night. I have seen the troubles you have faced this night and will allow you to go. But know this, Credence. It is not the end yet. The demon Fleetwood still wishes to have his covenant with you. And my angel Nas still seeks to keep you from him. I will not persuade you to choose one over the other. You may not even choose at all. But it is you, and you alone, that will decide your fate. Go now, Credence, and meet them, and tell them what they must hear. All right, fine, I'll do that. I turn around and start walking away, but stop, remembering something. Hey, actually, I need your help with something. The usual way of going about this is through prayer, but seeing as I am already here, how shall I aid you? I pull out my phone, the location's back on, but that's not what I needed help with. 6 letters, holy chest contains the Ten Commandments. The Ark. I thought the Ark was a boat. It is both. Wait, so they put the Ten Commandments on a boat? No, they are called the same thing, but they are different objects. Well, why would they do that? I don't get a response back. I think God must have hung up because the fire goes out all at once, plunging me into darkness once more. Well, that was rude. I look at my phone, type the answer to the clue in, type the answer to the clue in, and then I switch to my GPS app. It's working just fine again. Also, my battery is full charge now, and my wallpaper is of a guy walking up to a giant floating cross in a desert made of pink sand. I changed it back to my original wallpaper of a kaiju on Planet Z before I leave. I follow my phone out of the alley and back onto the street I was on before. From there, it takes me all the way to the park on the edge of campus without issue. I'm almost there. My dorm is just around the corner. There's a short bridge to have to cross. There's a short bridge I have to cross to get from one side of the park to the other. I shut my phone off and make my way towards it. Now that I'm in familiar territory, I'm practically running just to get back home. But as I get closer, I see a figure on the bridge waiting for me. His dark gray fur blends in with the shadows of the trees, but it would be impossible to miss those looming antlers and those wide, leathery wings. Kid. Hey, Fleetwood. He stands right in the middle of the bridge, arms crossed, his wings flared out wide, just to let me know there's no way I'm getting past him. His right wing isn't as far out as his left, though, and I see a dark spot near the joint that looks almost like a bruise. Oh, you okay? Well, I'm doing just fine, kid. Never better. He says it with as much venom as a snake. Something tells me that he has in fact been better. I step from foot to foot, weighing my options. I mean, obviously there's no way I could fight past him, but I'm so tired of doing consider taking my chances. Instead, I take a deep breath and decide to talk my way through. Look, Fleetwood, I'm glad you're okay. I got pretty scared when I didn't see you after your best friend blasted me. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be your target or whatever, but I hope this whole thing doesn't stop us from being friends. Oh no, we're way past that, kid. This ain't just about getting the job done anymore. I can quit the job and find a new sucker to please anytime I want. I'm not here to try to convince you to take me. I'm here for someone else. So someone else who? Queenance. I hear the sound of flapping wings and I turn just in time to see Nance running towards me, his wings folded close to his body. Queenance, are you alright? Am I too late? No, I just got foul demon. Get away from him. I look at Fleetwood, who's already walking in my direction. He doesn't stop for me, though. He breezes right past me, and I have to jump to move out of the way of his good wing. You're a real thorn in my side. You know that? If I had known the kid was bonded to an angel, I would have begged the higher ups to let me seduce some other pitiful soul. We're not bonded. Wait, they just call me pitiful? And I would have let you two have your happily ever after if you hadn't done this to my wing. He jabs at the bruised spot on his wing. My only regret is that I didn't destroy you with one shot, but don't worry, this time I won't be so careless. Guys, can we... Ha, good luck with that, Angel. You don't have the element of surprise anymore. I'll erase you from your existence, and then maybe I'll take your little boyfriend as my prize. I'm not his... Don't you dare lay a finger on him. Ah, that struck a nerve, did it? You stupid, predictable angels. You throw your own existence away to save the life of a pathetic mortal that won't even live past 100 years. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the one I love, then fine. Not that you know anything about love, you slimy. Oh my god, shut up already. The two of them finally stop hurling threats at each other and turn towards me in surprise, as if I just popped into existence 2 seconds ago. Can you guys stop with this shit already? I don't want either of you guys to get hurt fighting for my hand or whatever. That's stupid. They stare at me, dumbfounded. I can see the gears turning inside of their heads, like they were so intent on duking it out. They can't imagine any other alternative. Eventually, though, Nan speaks up. You're right. I'm sorry, Credence. We're not thinking straight. Speak for yourself, Angel. It's not our place to make this decision for you. Nas. Uh, Nas, I don't think you understand what I'm trying. It's your choice, Credence. If you decide to stay with this demon, I will respect it, regardless of my feelings for you. I'm not, no matter what. It'll all end right here. So go ahead and make the right choice, yeah? Now it's my turn to be dumbfounded. Are they seriously making me choose between them? This is stupid. Oh my god, I'm going to lose it. Alright, you know what? Fuck this. I don't know. Well, I don't know how you guys Got it in your head that I have to pick one of you to be my boyfriend for the rest of my life? Because guess what? I don't have to choose jack shit. Come on, kid. Are we still going on about this? Oh ho ho. Don't start with me. If it Even if I wasn't Ace, you honestly think I'm gonna want to fuck you after you kidnap me and try to feed me TV dinners? You even more out of touch than I am, dude. Cause I can tell you right now, nobody would be into you after that. Not even if you were like a wolf or something. Fleetwood's eyes go wide for a moment before he slumps his shoulders defeatedly. Damn, I knew this form was a bust. I don't think you're off the hook either. I jab a finger at Nas, who shrinks back with a bewildered expression on his face. You don't believe me when I say that I don't need a partner, isn't that right? It's written all over your face. I don't care if you save me from this asshole over here. I'm not required to marry you or whatever just because you said so. And besides, the immortal angel thing is still creepy as shit. I've known you my whole life, dude. It's not that strange, is it? I'm done being dragged back and forth like I'm a goddamn trophy for you to win. I just want to watch movies and play board games with you guys. Why can't we just hang out like friends without any of this romantic and or sexual baggage, huh? Christ, I'm really heated. I don't feel like the same, though. I stare at the angel and the demon with unrestrained contempt, hoping that they've finally gotten it through their thick skulls. Fleetwood is the first to speak. Damn, kid, if that's the way you felt, you should have just said so. I'm going to drown you in holy water. Fine, we're through. Sucks my first mission was a dud, but it's no skin off my back. There's plenty of other pathetic souls I can seduce instead. Not if I have anything to say about it. Nas turns to face the incubus glaring at him. His wings unfurl, and I see a simmer of light begin to form in the palm of his hand. You guys, not this again. You want to throw down, Angel? I'll get you back for what you did to my wing. Fleetwood stances up like he's ready for a boxing match. I see him clench his fist before his forearms become engulfed in purplish flames. It's just like how it was in Fleetwood's apartment. They stare each other down, waiting for the other to make the first move, and I'm off to the side, completely helpless to stop it. The silence stretches on for what feels like forever, but then Fleetwood charges forward and wait. We all freeze and turn to where the sound came from. While Nas and I do, Fleetwood trips and hits his nose on the ground. I distantly hear Fleetwood say a curse I'm sure hasn't actually been a curse for centuries, but I ignore it, far more focused on the rabbit dressed head to toe and bandages hobbling towards us. Guys, wait. Don't fight. I have something to. Fuck. He trips over a rock and tumbles to the ground. Immediately, Nas and I run over to help him back up. Burn. Oh my god, so you be in the hospital? Yeah, but I had something I needed to do. So I jumped out of the window and went looking for you. Burn. Queenix, listen. I'm sorry, but I can't let you go any further with Nas. I wasn't. Because the truth is, I'm in love with Nas. What? Burn turns towards a flabbergasted Nas and puts his non-broken hand on his shoulder. Nas, ever since we met in middle school, I've always thought you were an incredible guy. You're smart, funny, reliable, attractive. You're everything that I'm not. Uh, it's why I always thought that you'd never want to be with a guy like me. Also, for the longest time, I thought you were straight. But since you told me you were going out to save Credence from a demon, that's what you told him? I knew that I had to shoot my shot before I missed my chance, so I'm doing it right now. I love you, Nas. I always have, and I always will. For all of Burns confessing, Nas stood as still as a statue, his jaw somewhere on the floor. Finally, after a few seconds, his brain starts working again, and he starts to speak. I thought you thought I was boring. You are, and that's okay, but that's why. Byrne turned and limped towards Fleetwood. I don't know who you are, but I've been enamored with you ever since you ran me over with your motorcycle. You're incredible. I never met a guy as stunningly handsome as you. Since I met you 10 hours ago, since I met you 10 hours ago, all I've been able to think about is how much I want to. Yeah. Until the sun comes up. Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. I see Fleetwood's brow inch higher and higher until his forehead, well, higher and higher up his forehead as Burns speaks, followed by the other, until he's staring wide eyed into the rabbit's desperate face. When he finishes, they come back down, and the grin forms on his muzzle. Heh, if that's what you want, then I'll all night long. Burn gives a relieved smile to the bug before ending with me. He reaches out to touch my shoulder. I recoil instinctively. Dude, it's fine, I watched it, and I'm sorry for what I said, Credence, but I was going to lose my mind if I stayed quiet. I hope you understand. I blink at Burn. Yeah, dude. Really? Are you sure? I take a deep breath. Absolutely, man. Well, you three have fun. I'm gonna go to bed. With that, I turn towards the bridge and make my way across, leaving my stumped friends behind. 10 minutes later, I walk into my dorm and fall into my bed, and then I sleep until noon. Alright, what is this? 12 down, 7 letters, heads up. For some reason, I brace for impact, but nothing happens. No stray balls come out of nowhere to smack me in the face. And that's exactly how I want it. I set my laptop and then lean back with a sigh, staring up at the bright blue sky above me with a creeping sense of melancholy. It's only been a few days since Byrne, Nash, and Fleetwood left on their honeymoon, but I'm already feeling the weight of their absence around me. I never thought I actually missed this. I actually thought I never missed them this much doing a crossroads where crosswords just isn't the same without Byrne heckling me and that's politely making suggestions on either side of me. Hell, I'd even take Fleetwood. He's got a surprisingly good grasp of pop culture for someone who's 400 years old. I'm not gonna be the guy who keeps a newly-wed couple, throuple, from going on their honeymoon, though. I'll just suffer in silence like the man I am. This sucks. I'm startled by the vibration of my phone, making the metal table I'm sitting at rattle like I'm sitting at the epicenter of an earthquake. I snatch it and open it up, seeing a new message in my notifications. It's a photo from Nash. He's taking a selfie with Byrne and Fleetwood next to him. Nash has an extremely ill-fitting cowboy hat attached to his scalp, wearing a sleeveless play button up into my sock acid wash jeans. Fleetwood's straight up shirtless, and Burns got a cowboy hat of his own, with his ears sticking out of it, and a tattoo on his bare shoulder that I definitely don't remember seeing before. All three have glow sticks around their wrists. Despite being in broad daylight, Burns got a beer in one hand and Fleetwood's ass in the other, looking like he's having the time of his life. Nash and Fleetwood look mostly confused, but they're smiling, so I guess they're having fun too. Another message from Nash pops up while I'm looking at the photo. It says, I'd say I hope you're doing well, but I already know you are, followed by a string of completely unrelated emoji. I can't help but smile at my screen. Like a doofus, I'm glad they're having a good time. Music festivals don't seem like my kind of thing, but maybe I'll try it out one of these days. Probably not, though. I shoot back a quick stay safe, knowing it's largely redundant, and then I put my phone down and crack open my laptop again. Alright, no more moping. Let's get back to work. 13 down, 6 letters. Words before the credits roll. Oh, that's one's easy. The end. Okay, so I enjoy that. All right, so well, a lot happened in this. So I'll start with the beginning. So unbeknownst to Credence, his friend Nas was an angel, well, his guardian angel. His duty was to protect him from danger, and he was also in love with Credence, unbeknown to him. And it looked like God Himself approved of him being in love with Credence when he had that one-to-one talk with Credence later on in the story. So anyway, the other person there, I forgot his name, but he's a bunny. Um, it's kind of like maybe like athletic, kind of popular. Even though he said to Nas when he confessed to him that he was more popular, but I don't know. Based on what he said about him being active, he seemed a lot more popular. But he seemed to me like he was a popular guy. Those popular athletic guy, or maybe even a jock, even. I don't know. That's a term used in college. That's more like a high school term. But anyway, he was he seemed like a popular guy to me. He likes to be at events and functions. So kind of surprised when he told Nas when he confessed to him that he's way more popular and cooler than him. But anyway, so this so what's his name again? Fleetwood arrives and he runs over the bunny's leg, and then the friends let him know, hey, you ran over. Well, Nas especially, he lets him know, hey, you ran over their friend's leg. He said, oh, sorry, like it's no big deal. And then, to my surprise, Credence, he was very attracted to him physically, and that he was so cool. I don't know. He seemed like he was kind of attracted to him somehow, even though he said he was ace later on. Well, he seemed like he was attracted to him. And he even said something about maybe if he was a wolf, he might have done some more. So, personally, I don't think he's entirely ace. He's largely ace, but I think he's attracted to the guys, but he just don't. I mean, he's clearly attracted to the guys' looks, but he's just not in the sexual stuff or romantic stuff either. But yeah, he seemed interested in Fleetwood, saying he was a good guy, despite all the bad stuff he did. So after agreeing to go with Fleetwood to the movies later on, he got back on his motorcycle, and then he ran over the bunny's leg again, like it was no big deal, and he just ran off. So he got bad signs already, and then once Fleetwood meets him, now Nas, he doesn't like Quentin's going with this guy, but he decides to take him to the movies anyway, so Quentin can meet with the guy Fleetwood, and then after a little while, Nas finally meets Fleetwood in there, and then they watch a movie, and he got kind of the must coming from him while they were watching the movie. It really got to Quentin's real hard, and Fleetwood, I guess, was offended by about what Quentin said about him being musky, because he probably doesn't use deodorant, and plus him wearing a tank top doesn't help. There's nothing to keep that foul smells trapped in there. So um he basically told Queen said he wants to do stuff with him and like have sex and Queen said no, he's asexual and after more talking, it looks like Queen wasn't going to do what Fleetwood wanted, so Fleetwood kidnapped him, and despite kidnapping being kidnapped, he still thought of Fleetwood was a good guy while he was in his apartment. Even after he'd been kidnapped, it wasn't too late in the story that he finally told Fleetwood, "Hey, you kidnapped me." So he revealed himself to be a demon who was 400 years old, and that scared Fleetwood. That was shocking to Fleetwood. And it seems as though like once Fleetwood met him, well, maybe once Fleetwood introduced himself to Credence at the start of the story, maybe it seems as though his very essence or appearance might have done some bad things to Credence because he did not care at all that his friend got ran over by this guy. Like even Nance kept telling him, "Hey, you gotta take our friend to the hospital. The guy got ran him over by his bike, and Credence he just didn't care that his friend got ran over. He just all he cared about was going with Fleetwood to his movies. So I don't know if that was Fleetwood or if that was just Credence, but that was really weird that he didn't care about his friend being run over and his leg broken and having to go to the hospital. So later on, Nas breaks into Fleetwood's room and tells him to leave Credence alone, and then they get into a fight, and well, it looks like they're about to go in a fight, and then Nas later on reveals his true intentions for Credence and that he loves him and that he always wanted to marry him, and then Credence told him that he only loves him, well, not love, but that he only likes him as a friend and not as someone to love and be married to, and that he is asexual and that he's not into sex and romantic relationships. He just likes friends. He likes a friend, just be company, but not like a commitment or anything like that. So it kind of sucks Nas. So anyway, Fleetwood reveals that he wasn't really interested in Fleetwood. I mean, in Credence, that he was just some to him, he's just some dumb person that he could take advantage of. And and yeah, that's it was kind of I kind of figured like it was too good to be true. It was kind of suspicious to me about Fleetwood, but he really didn't love or was interested in Fleetwood. He was just wanted to take advantage of him. That's it. I think even Fleetwood himself said it himself before Nance broke into their apartment that they just get to be with somebody and they break their hearts. Yeah, he just wanted to take advantage of Credence sexually, and then once he get tired of him, he was gonna dump him. So yeah, Credence basically told him to stop fighting over him and that he's not interested in a relationship with either of them, and that he just wants to continue living his life the way he's living it, like with his card games and well, I don't know card games, but like puzzle games and stuff like that, and just Nas being a friend. That's all he wants. So not to make this too long than it already is, this whole me going on my thoughts. Um the rabbit comes and he confesses love to Nas. Nas is shocked. And then I think several days later, while Quidditch was doing his routine, who's outside and at the park, I guess, doing his word crossing and stuff like that. He gets messages from Nas about them being a threesome now and having enjoy each other's time and everything they're doing, and so all of them are enjoying each other's company. And it looks like Nas has warmed up to the demon Fleetwood, and the rabbit, he's definitely having a good time with the demon, them having sex and all that. So I guess things worked out for everybody, pretty much. Well, largely worked out. Sure, Nas didn't get to be with Credence, but he's with his rabbit friend now and the demons, surprisingly. And Credence gets to do his life the way he wants to do it, even though he's kind of bored of Nas and his rabbit friend not being there. She's like after arguing for them to leave him alone, he started to regret them not being there. Anyway, so I enjoyed the game. A lot of shocking twists to the story. It's very comedic, and I enjoyed it. Uh, you can see him turn down two guys competing for him, and we get to see the bunny confess his feelings for both him and for both Nas and Fleetwood, even though Fleetwood is the reason he's in the hospital. But I guess he was he was so attracted to him by his looks or by Fleetwood's looks that he couldn't resist. So yeah, and I wonder who said something about a wolf, wishing that Fleetwood was a wolf instead of a deer. I forgot which one of them said that, but anyway, um, seems as the people who made this we preferred a wolf over a deer, but they had to do it as a deer. Um, anyway, or maybe that was a joke. They do like making deers, but anyway, I enjoyed this story, this little short story. I like the characters, and so thank you for watching, and that's all I got to say. I enjoyed it, enjoyed the characters, the comedy, and all the sudden revelations. So thank y'all. Goodbye.